Okay, so I'm always really fair and nice. It's just all like there's good in all, everything has good things about it, not everything is absolutely terrible. Um, this is what I like about the philosophy of people. This is what I don't like. Usually I try to bring a sort of balanced equilibrium to the conversation that we're having. But today, I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to tell you every reason I hate Republicans, conservatives, MAGA supporters. Not every single reason, but just like the main reasons. You guys have no integrity. You have no spines. You believe in nothing. You guys want to vote against me and my friends and people I care about, and then you want to act like we're like on good terms. We're not on good terms. I don't like you. If you have friends who disagree with you, I hope that they don't like you and they don't give you a chance. I don't hang out with Zionists. I don't hang out with Republicans. I don't hang out with conservatives. You guys would tarnish my image. You would tarnish my values and my beliefs. If I spent time with people with conservative values, genuinely, I would feel like a shittier person. And I would just want to be held accountable for that. Genuinely, like, I don't talk to my parents, and that's one of the reasons. They're very openly conservative. I'm very against that. I think that, they raised me off of their own values to question everything and like have integrity and find knowledge and information and wisdom. I always was like so impressed by my dad that he knew all this shit, and it's just all like all of a sudden he just believes in nothing. He was all like, you shouldn't, like when I was a middle schooler, I had the reactionary kind of, like, momentum. I don't know if you guys know, but, like, in 2011 or 12, I think before that, it was probably around 2009, 2010, and that's probably around the time, there was a lot of conspiracies popping up about chemtrails, mercury in the vaccines. This is, like, old stuff. This is, like, old... fringe. It was fringe at the time. But anyway, it was just like, oh, look at how these things line up, and the government, Alex Jones type stuff. Anyway, my dad was like, that stuff is stupid. You shouldn't pay attention to it. It's stupid, and because, like, even I was hanging around, like, naturopaths that, like, whatever, like, chiropractors and naturopaths. When I was a kid, I went to chiropractors. But they're naturopaths, so they had like pamphlets that like supported this kind of stuff, and I like would read the pamphlets, and it would like affirm my kind of like delusion as a kid. And my dad was the one who told me like that stuff is stupid, you shouldn't pay attention to it. It's just misinformation. And like look at where we're at now, where we've come full circle in like 2009. In like 2015, it's just all like it's this revolving door of like bullshit, and it's just all like I genuinely wanted the people that I knew to have integrity and continue with their beliefs and not contradict themselves or be hypocritical about it later. Like their past self would have been like so embarrassed, but like everything is so comfy now. We have to be comfortable, and like I don't want conservatives to feel comfortable. I don't want them to feel happy. I don't want them to feel safe. Like, pretty much everything that they put onto the world around them, all the negativity they put out into the world, I want them to feel that negativity tenfold. Like, and all these Democrats who are just, like, spineless and weak and not doing anything, like, obviously it's all to support the same system, but, like, as a human being with, like, flesh and blood and bone and, like... It's just like they've absolutely like thrown us all under the bus as a species for money. That like, and every time I just think of this, that like all of this is done for the benefit of profit incentives. It's just like the more I just hate money, the more I just hate the grift. I hate conservatism and I hate liberalism for this reason, because it's all grift. It's all money. They don't want to destroy the cash cow, which is Israel. Israel will pay them like $7,000 to make some propaganda. They'll pay them quite a bit of money. It's all about the money. Follow the money, and that's like so bullshit. That's why like capitalism, like that's the main thing. It's just all like that whole system right there with the grift and the money. It's just like, genuinely, capitalism should be like destroyed and dismantled and like burned. It should be razed to the ground. And I have this conversation with people, and they're so stupid. You guys are so stupid. It's insane. These like pro-capitalist types, these like really just like real true American, you know what I mean? Like these hick motherfuckers who can't read. Like I was having this conversation with this guy, and he's all like pretty much doing everything short of just like sucking off Israel. You know, it's just like all their policies, everything. He's just all like, you know, Trump is he's a hero, and he's really doing all this shit, and like this guy did not give a shit about Epstein anymore. And I was all like, buddy, you're essentially an agent of Mossad. How does that make you feel? And he's all like, what kind of Muslim bullshit is that? You guys don't know how to fucking read. Like, you guys don't pay attention to anything in front of you. You lie about everything, and you pretend like you know shit, but you don't know anything. I was talking to another conservative the other day, and this hit a little closer to home, because this is like a family. You know what I mean? It's just all like, all he would fucking talk about are those damn blacks and Muslims. And I'm just all like, this dude's a fucking idiot. And he wants to like say that I'm an idiot. Like, respectfully, I'm not gonna say like anything bad about that person. It's a little more complex than that, but like I don't hate Muslims, and I don't hate black people. And like if you support capitalism, you hate Muslims and you hate black people. I don't give a shit. You know, if you are a capitalist fan, you support the aristocratic class, you support people like Epstein and what people like Epstein do. You support human trafficking, you support slavery, you support child slavery. It's just like, we're really talking about the nuances of capitalism. It's all about cutting the sharpest corner for profit incentive. And it's just all like, the aristocrats can party, and you know what they do in the privacy of their own homes would make the Marquis de Sade blush. I think I've heard that statement. Like that, you know what I mean? It's just all like, God, we are fucked. You guys are so fucking stupid. We are fucked. A third of the population is absolutely schizophrenic, and they don't want to hear anything other than that. You know, they don't want to hear anything other than what they believe in. And what they believe in is nothing, because they have no spines and they have no integrity. And what I will do in my life will to be like the opposite of affirmation for them. I will stonewall them. I will ghost them. I will not talk to them. They are nothing to me. And I truly, my abilities and my beliefs, my morals, I will hold them to my chest. I will only support people who have their feet on the ground and care about their community and their people. I will not support demonic, supporters of the worship of Moloch. You know what I mean? That's it. It's just all it's all child sacrifice for the conservatives and the Republicans, and I don't think the children should be sacrificed. I don't think they should be the other things either. I'm not going to say those other things, but you know what I'm implying. I don't think they should do that to children. That's evil. You know, it's just all like, I don't think that the R word, generally speaking, the R word, I don't think that should be put on any person ever. Like, human beings, flesh and blood, human beings who have to live their lives, like when you're talking about the most basic of principle. Human beings should be like provided education. They should be provided resources and structure so they can make the most out of their community. I think that the main thing we should focus on, other than money and sex, should be longevity. That's why I hate conservatism, and I hate conservatives, because they are a death cult. They are an accelerationist death cult who have no integrity. They're so incompetent. And in the age of the internet, conservatism should be punishable by prison or the other thing. Really depends on how far you're into it. If you're too far for rehabilitation, I genuinely believe that. We should bring back the Nuremberg trials. 2025, let's hope it happens before December, because I'm so fucking sick of all of this. Everyone is sick of this shit. And it's just like, you guys really want to hear what I think about this thing? It's just all, I think that like these inbred, backwards, conservative MAGA lovers, I think that they should really reap what they've, sown. Reap, 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 reap. I don't know. You guys sow, and then it's just like the hand of reaping should like come crashing down upon you with the absolute force to destroy everything you've ever loved. Like, there's just no integrity. The hypocrisy is outstanding, and what I believe is just all like, I don't believe in hypocrisy. I believe that like people should be able to pick up a book every now and then, like read and like work on your critical thought, work on like coming to a conclusion that's not just like you know what I mean, like meaningless, absolutely meaningless. This is such a meaningless time we live in, and like just after this I just have no faith. If I continue to exist, I will continue to exist to spite Republicans and reactionaries and conservatives. I might be a reactionary myself. I'm like a reactionary leftist, but like conservatism needs to be crushed. Okay, I think racism, deserves to be crushed. Everything that they say needs to be crushed, except for like the stuff that, you know what I mean? Like they're a little schizophrenic about that. They're all like, Epstein, people who do the stuff that Epstein does. I don't really want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to be talking about that stuff because I don't want to get my like channel like in bad faith. I'm already shadow banned, but it's okay. I don't want to say the big words, even though the big words are what conservatives need to hear, because that's what they are, with a capital P. You know what I mean? That's what they are. We all know this. It's just all like they're all a bunch of serial killing, molesting, all that good stuff. It's just all like Israel loving. It's just all like, I wonder what they thought when Israel went on and implied that, somebody was going to nuke Mar-a-Lago. You guys are so fucking stupid. My God, it's hilarious. Like, these ICE people need to be like lined up. You know what I mean? Much love to the marginalized communities that have to put up with this shit. Much love to all the people who are outside of America who have to put up with this shit, and inside of America who have to put up with this shit. My hearts are out to you guys. Like, genuinely speaking, I'm not like bullshitting you. I think that like you guys deserve so much more, and like it's just so evil what has become of politics and what has always been of politics. And Western imperialism and colonialism and, capitalism. Essentially, we've destroyed everything good, and we are continuing to destroy everything good, because destroying everything good is the only thing that brings these people, like, joy in their lives, because they're accelerationist, death cult, you know what I mean? That's what they are. Kind of like the Siege guys. If you guys know about James Mason, that's kind of like Donald Trump, and his beliefs, but, like, we live in a time of information. You can't exist within the public eye in the level you do without being totally, just open, whatever. It's just like people can film this shit. You know what I mean? They can put it online. And the propaganda just doesn't work when there's like people actively like proving your propaganda wrong every single day. And that's what we have to wake up to every single day. It's just all like, you guys are just stupid. You don't know anything. And it's just all like, you guys are so delusional. You are living in another world. Like, all of these people out here, I talk to some people who are even more moderate, and they're just all like, oh, you guys are just stupid. You don't know anything. Why would you do this and that? It's just all like, because we're all tired. The Charlie Kirk shit. It's just all like, people are like, oh my God, it's so evil. It's just like, have you guys not paid attention to anything else going on in this world? It's just all like, we have to focus on like something so insignificant. The dude got killed by Israel, and you're not going to talk about that. You're going to forget about it as soon as that comes to light. And you're never going to talk about it again. But it's just all like, oh, whatever, this is violence. Political violence has no whatever. It's just like it's all virtue signaling to distract us. It's just like it's virtue signaling. You guys talk so much about virtue signaling, and then you actually do the real virtue signaling. I don't think that a lot of these people are talking into the abyss when they say that they want to help their communities and like make like things stronger. Like I'm on the side of the marginalized. I'm not going to support all of these like evil, terrible human beings, and like, you know, you can believe me or you cannot. I don't do this stuff for attention or positive like points, social points. It's just all like what I believe in the privacy of my own home, and when I go out in public and when I like judge the fuck out of some of these idiots. I don't need credit for that. Everyone should be doing that. Just like, if you want to find affirmation, go ahead and find affirmation and what I believe. That's fine. Inspire yourself to be a bigger person. But don't look at me and say, like, that's a person who's, like, has integrity. It's just all, like, I think it's so fucking bullshit. Because I'm doing the bare minimum. You know what I mean? I wish I was doing more. But this is, like, the bare minimum. You just say what, you know, needs to be said. But it's just, like, this is what I want to say every time. Like, that, like, these people are so uneducated. And they're so stupid, and they're so comfortable, and they're so entitled. And it's like the age of convenience has melted these people away. And now they're like watching AI slop and like just like clapping, like just brain dead, drooling on their chins, you know, drool dripping off, and it's crazy. We really live in like weird, crazy times, huh? I'm just so tired of these idiots. Conservatism is a mind virus. I'm telling you.